Welcome back to GCTV. Welcome back to the Port Hercule as we take a look at some of the beautiful boats, the yachts, super yachts that you find here just behind the show jumping ring. How fascinating to have that harbor, to have this dock right here outside of our very own show jumping ground. This is exclusive to Port Hercule, exclusive to Monaco here in Monte Carlo as we get ready to continue down this road of stage 10 of the Global Champions League. My name is Mark Lewis. This is GCTV, and it has been a rather intriguing opening round. Doha Falcons seem to have dropped the ball. Stockholm Hearts are trying to survive. Advantage Falcons Ward United as Madrid Emotion drop the ball, and the Stars championship contenders go on to jump a double clear. Well, that leaves a lot to discuss. These are the results as it stands. The Stars powered by the Iron Dames, double clear. Prague Lions, Peter de Vos, Niels Brownseals, double clear as well. 5 seconds slower than the Stars. Razorback International hot on their heels as they have been for most parts of the season. Find themselves the fastest of the teams on 4. And Falcons Ward United just a single rail down for Oliver Lazarissa, clear for John Whittaker, keeps them on 4. Stockholm Hearts powered by H&M have those 2 penalties for Jessica Springsteen. And then unfortunately for the Doha Falcons, 20 penalties for them, 24 penalties for Madrid in Motion. And all of a sudden, that championship table starts to look very, very different as we get ready to continue our way through the rest of tonight. Let's begin taking a look at some of these big moments, some of these moments that had a massive say on not just how round 2 may well shape up, but how the overall championship is going to shape up as well. We already spoke about Stars. We will hear from them as the leading team right now. Let's hear from them.
Kim, you said to me earlier today that today is the day that Stars come back and fight, and what a start.
Yes, it was a really good round. Also for Sophie, who was winning the class, she had a super round. My horse also jumped super.
Sophie, we're not seeing that many double clears today. I think only the 2, and a lot of high faults as well. Is it a really tough course out there?
First of all, I think the arena is not so easy. It's quite tight, and yeah, we are not used to that small arena, so I think this is the tough thing about this weekend.
It's a great start to claim back the top of the championship, though. Round 2, what's the plan? Which horses?
I come back in the second round with Imagine.
And Sophie?
I will ride Sinclair in the second round.
Okay, so you've got some great horses coming in for round 2 as well. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Some team news from the Doha from the Stars, I beg your pardon, powered by the Iron Dames. A wonderful clear from Sophie Hinnes, a wonderful clear from Kim Emmen, Kantaro and Island, rather, I beg your pardon, respectively, jumping clear for the team. Now looking to try and leapfrog the Doha Falcons. It may well happen that leapfrogging takes place by the end of tonight, because before we get into the second round, I know there is a lot of jumping still to follow. But as it stands now, because of the double clear to the Stars and what happened to the Doha Falcons, which I'll show you in a moment, one can only think that the Stars are once again going to regain second place. Let's show you what happens then to the Doha Falcons, looking to historically win 3 back-to-back stages on the Global Champions League. They were successful in Stockholm. They were successful in Paris, looking to make it 3 in a row. And I'm afraid 8 penalties for Jérôme Guéry, 12 penalties for Simon de Lestre. It meant that the Doha Falcons finish on 20 penalties at the end of GCL round 1. Great Britain and Olga both having some difficulty. And I cannot help but think of the old saying that you cannot lose a Global Champions League stage in round 1. I'm sorry, you cannot win a Global Champions League stage in round 1, but you may well lose it. And I wonder if that is indeed the case for the Doha Falcons. Jérôme Guéry and Simon de Lestre both having difficulty in that Global Champions League round 1. And in fact, I get a sneaky feeling that if things were to end the way they do right now, with the Doha Falcons where they are and the Stars currently leading, I think we may well have new championship leaders overall. But time will have to tell tell that a little bit later on. Speaking of the Canstars and the double clear that they jumped tonight, there was another double clear that was delivered by the Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team. The Belgium boys back again, Peter de Vos and Niels Bruinseels, finally once again together and delivering the goods, sensationally so as well. Matador and Yarina both going clear. We caught up with Peter de Vos after his round.
What a fantastic start for the Prague Lions. Both of you are double clear.
Seems that we found the rhythm again since last week, so I'm very happy. We have been doing already great things together, Niels and me, in last year, and okay, it's nice to take off again this season together and do a double clear. So this gives a lot of confidence for the rest of the season, hopefully.
We're seeing quite a few penalties today, a lot of high faults as well. What do you think that's about?
It's just a super difficult arena. Everybody knows it's very, very small. The fences are coming so quick. You really have to have a plan, and it's really not easy to let the horses focus on the right jump here. So it's complicated, but okay, we're double clear, but it's not over yet. It's still a very big round to come, so everything can still happen, and we try to keep focus.
Well, I was about to ask you about championship, but of course you've still got another round to go. But are you still fighting for that top 4 spot?
Yeah, of course, we're fighting all the time for that. We had a bit of bad luck the last few shows. Not always easy in an Olympic year to find the right horse combinations to get ready for the shows. But I think I hope we can make it here to the podium, and then would give us again some good confidence and a boost for the next part of the season.
Absolutely. Good luck.
Thank you.
Now you wonder, have the Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team, entered the chat? Have they entered the chat for the top 4 fight? Earlier on today, we spoke about how the top 4 teams have separated themselves for the next 4 teams from 5 to 8. And if a strong performance like tonight were to be continued in GCL round 2, I wonder just how much the Prague Lions would go on to put pressure on those teams chasing to get into GCL round 2 to make those Super Cup positions for the semi-finals later in the year. But Razorback International continue to get involved, to get stuck in, to keep the pressure on those around them. Let's show you what took place with Razorback International today. Because Owen McMahon and Cornest, this partnership continuing to grow, continuing to develop. McMahon and Cornest, still only 11 years of age, had a single rail go down. Gets over the Liverpool, no problem does McMahon. Has the rollback, then makes his return, keeps the fence up. And as he starts now in towards the second half of the ring, the back half of it, time allowed, no problem at all, no risks of a time penalty. Now hugging the fence alongside the fans, thinking that this is going to be a sensational clear, and it is the very, very last fence, the back rail that falls for Owen McMahon and Cornest, denied a very impressive clear. And Philip Schulze-Topov and Carla, well, they certainly did the job. They keep Razorback International in the mix. He keeps it clear. He keeps Razorback International on a 4. And with that, keeps them knocking on the door of the Canstars and of the Prague Lions. Having watched that final fence go down for McMahon, Philip Schulze-Topov takes his time. He clears the final fence and makes sure that he stays on a clear. I wonder what has been the overall thoughts, the consensus for the riders here this afternoon in Global Champions League Round 1. Let's go into the ring with Rosie Tapner. Rosie, you have been on the ground, you have been in the warm-up, and I imagine that there have been a couple of teams that have had quite a bit to say to one another. Take us through what some of the recurring themes, or at least some of the reactions have been from the teams we've been keeping an eye on today.
Yeah, Mark, you're completely right. There's been a lot of reactions going on in the warm-up. I'm lucky enough to be down here, and I can see them as they come out of the arena, and there were obvious frustrations from the Doha Falcons. Simon Delestre, of course, with that point of 12 faults, was incredibly frustrated on his way out. They really wanted to come here and get that 3 in a row. It looks like it's gone. No Canstars, obviously I've just spoken to them as well as the leading team going into round 2. They are so thrilled. Kim Emmons said to me, I told you we were here to fight, and this is our weekend to fight. But in general, a lot of the riders are saying the arena is really tough in there. The course itself was actually quite a kind course for round 1, a lot of them have said, but the arena itself, those fences are coming up a lot faster than you'd expect, and their horses are having to be that extra bit careful, but quicker as well. So obvious frustrations from a few teams. problems as we go into round 2 because of that high voltage in round 1. But let's see, fingers crossed they can turn it around with the horses that they bring back for round 2.
All right, Rosie Tapner, thank you very much. I'm keen to catch up with Frederik de Backer later on tonight to see what exactly Vizani has put together for GCL round 2 later on. Thank you very much, Rosie Tapner. That brings an end to a bit of the reaction from Global Champions League round 1. As it stands, the Kunstars, powered by the Iron Dames, lead on a double clear. Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team, find themselves just behind on time on a double clear. And Riesebeck International knocking on the door with 4 penalties as well. We take a break. We allow the sun to begin to ever so slightly lower here over Porte-Écule in Monte Carlo, Monaco. We'll be back in a few moments' time. Global Champions League round 2, the defining round of GCL Stage 10, comes up in a few moments' time. Stay with us on GCTV. We'll see you again shortly.
Elegance is an attitude.
Of course it is.
Elegance is an attitude.
Of course it is.
In the life of a rider, each jump is a journey, every heartbeat an opportunity, and competition is where the spectacle begins. Every victory, a celebration. Amidst the luxury and elegance, I found my home. I recall the highs and lows as if they were yesterday. But for every triumph, there's a battle fought. For every leap forward, a step back in time. The tension between competitors fuels the fire. It's a dance between skill and determination, culminating in podiums and triumphant celebrations. From city to city, we cross the globe in pursuit of glory, overcoming obstacles and embracing the challenge at every turn. Each rider is a testament to perseverance and dedication. Each competitor a source of inspiration and motivation. As I look back on the journey, I see the challenges, the triumphs, the moments that define us, each memory etched in the fabric of time, shaping us into who we are today. Together, we've written a story of courage and passion. And as we gaze towards the future, let us remember that the true essence of sport lies not in the outcome, but in the journey it inspires. Today begins a new story, and I want to live it with you here in the new season of the Longines Global Champions Tour and Global Champions League.
Don't miss out on the Global Champions 2024 season. We are back, and finally this year in 2024, the Global Champions League enters its 8th season.
It's a team championship over 15 stages, with riders of different nationalities competing on each team.
Every team has a team manager who selects a maximum of 6 riders for the season, and they must contain at least one under 25.
Halfway through the season, the transfer window allows the team's manager to change riders on their roster. This year, the transfer window opens after Paris and closes before Stage 9 in Stockholm.
A maximum of 3 riders travel with each team to each stage, but only 2 of them can compete at the 2 rounds of GCL.
Between rounds, a manager can swap in a horse or change rider.
The penalties of both riders are added over the 2 rounds, meaning there's no drop score.
In case of a tie on points, the added times from round 2 will be the tiebreaker.
The team that wins the stage will add 30 championship points to its tally.
Teams are battling to finish in the top 4 in the championship, as that takes them straight to the semi-finals of the Global Champions Playoffs this year, held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
And the team with the most points at the end of the season will be crowned 2024 Global Champions League winners.
These are some of the hardest shows in the world.
Competing against top of the world.
Each team is required to have one under 25 rider.
If you're good enough, you make it, and if not, then it's a little difficult.
It's not like a car. When it's broken, you bring it to the garage and it's fixed.
It's my special horse.
Yeah, there it is.
He changed my life.
What a start from the championship.
It's overwhelming.
It's a dream come true for me to be here.
The score now rises.
I'm stressed.
You can be on top of the world the one week and then at the bottom of the pile the next week.
Ooh, when it comes to a stop, jumping good as well.
They always say you're as good as your last round.
Show jumping is down to the finest details.
Not trying to be 5th, just trying to be 1st.
Look at that, unbelievable!
That one will be hard to beat.
Some of these under 25 riders will be the champions of tomorrow.
This feeling is...
I'm here to win and not just take part.
Last time on Chasing the Dream, 4 rising stars were on a mission to prove that they've got what it takes to be a global champion. As well as delivering spectacular results for their teams.
Today, as we mentioned, not a single fence going
These
down.
young riders can also win big as individuals.
De Vos or Thomas, by a second it is Gilles Thomas who takes the lead. The lead, Konkinam and Sanne Thijssen for 39.1. She has not win it, she won it, she wins it. There's Sanne Thijssen, it's magic, it's unbelievable.
Global Champions League is the world's most prestigious team competition in show jumping. Top riders join forces to form elite multinational teams, competing for the sport's highest prize money.
Some of these under 25 riders will be the champions of tomorrow.
Be as good as we can and compete with the people at the higher level.
Yeah, you want to do it right for the team.
I'm here to win and not just take part.
Winning the Grand Prix in Madrid was, amazing feeling, of course.
Sanne was amazing in Madrid. The atmosphere was electric, and Konkinam was amazing. It was fantastic to see.
She's doing what everybody else wants to be doing, you know. So that's the goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, beating Derek, that will last in the history.
Sanne Thijssen's dazzling Grand Prix win in Madrid had everyone talking about the 23-year-old's strong-willed style.
Sanne Thijssen wins.
I was really surprised last year that Sanne Thijssen decided to start her own business. Because there's more luxury than riding in the business of your father with his horses, no financial risk, no pressure, but she decides to start her own business and to risk it all. I think Sanne has got confidence in herself. For example, in Madrid, she's got Jos Lansing, a world champion, an LGCT Grand Prix winner alongside of her to help her in the jump-off. She ignores the advice of Jos Lansing, goes her own route and proves to the world that her own plan is better than the plan of all those big champions.
And you're was full focused, and I had the plan to do the first line on 7 instead of 8 strides, and nobody did that. So yeah, it's a little bit of risk, and when then everything works out and you cross the finish line, yeah, then everything comes out in like full emotion.
The performance of Sanne in Madrid was amazing. She and Conky Dam are such a strong team. So for me, it only motivates me more to do also good. So especially in Madrid, like Sanne won the Grand Prix. And then the day after I was a bit more motivated, and then I won the Copa del Rey. Winning Copa del Rey was something really special. I think it was one of my biggest wins so far in my career.
Welcome to Saint-Tropez, welcome to Global Champions League here at Ramatuelle Saint-Tropez, the French Riviera.
As the league heads into mid-season, Gilles Thomas gets his next chance to shine in glamorous Saint-Tropez.
Van Beek, Romas by far. This is a triple, sinking behind his leg again. Thomas really having to ride the careful stallion.
It's another great weekend for the talented young rider, as he jumps well in both the team and the individual rounds.
At the moment it's mid-season and I'm in the top 10 in the individual rankings. I didn't expect it at all actually. Even before the season I wasn't really thinking about it. I was more focused on the team. Actually to be in the top 10 it surprised me because here there are the best riders and best horses in the world.
The 2022 season is also becoming a milestone year for Mike Kawai, the under-25 rider for the London Knights.
Action!
Hi, this is Mike Kawai. I'm a U25 rider and I'm in London Knights team and I'm from Japan. How I started riding is because my father, when I was little, he always pushed me to ride. I didn't like it actually. Because I had the pain in the ass, when the horse trot, I had the pain. So I didn't really like it, but I said to my dad, okay, let's try. Yeah, once I started, I just really liked it. I don't know, just a feeling, And when I was 18, my father one day said, you should go to Tokyo Olympics, which is like, in 3-4 years was the Olympics. What are you saying? Like, are you crazy or what,
Mike Kawai's story is an interesting one to follow. 4 years ago, he came to Valkenswaard to Jan Tops to be trained. But at that point, he was just jumping over this chair. For Mike Kawai to first go to Jan Tops, not speak any English, go to one of the biggest trainers in the world. That takes a lot of courage.
When my father told me to go to train with Jan, don't have any contact, no connection. So actually we sent the email. After 3 days, no reply. And so okay, then we said, just go. So I arrived there, okay, where's Jan Tops?
Approximately 5 years ago, Mike came to Valkenswaard and asked if he could be trained with us at Stal Tops. And his aim was to go to the Olympics. He didn't speak any word of English. We communicate together, by Google and translate.
I make one letter actually. That's like, I'm from Japan, I want to go to Tokyo Olympics, I'm jumping 120 class, I showed him one paper with English. And when he said it, he was laughing. But I was really serious, because I want to make this happen.
Mike's audacious plan paid off, and show jumping legend Jan Tops agreed to train him.
We started in the 2-star shows, and then at the end he made it to go to Tokyo. He was a reserve rider, but it was already a great accomplishment.
When the federation called me that you are the one that go to the Olympics as a reserve rider, I was like, chicken skin everywhere. And then I called my father, I made it, and of course he was so happy, and also Jan, of course.
Mike has been riding in the Global Champions League since 2018, but it's this year that he's become a clear round machine.
Kawai with another clear on gold win. Here he comes, Mike Kawai. Yeah, there it is.
Let's be honest, in the first year, you could wonder if Mike Kawai had a place in Global Champions League. But apparently, Mike Kawai had confidence in himself and even more Jan Tops. And then this year you see that Mike Kawhi, up until a point he was the best under-25 rider of the league.
I think this is the best time of my Global Champions Tour for sure.
He has a lot of talent, a lot of feel. I think Mike, sometimes the discipline, you know, is different with him. You know, he's taking everything sometimes easy.
I think I'm a bad sportsman. You know, I'm hard to wake up a little bit in the morning, but in the night I always awake, you know.
Still think he needs to dedicate more time and needs to become more professional, but that little spark that Jan Tops may have seen in Mike Kawhi now is turning into a little fire.
The tour moves on to majestic Hamburg. At the historic Derby Park. Jack Whittaker is eager to get back in the saddle after his spleen injury.
So about 5 weeks ago, and I was walking out the stables drinking a cup of tea, and just walking past the horse was just a bit of a freak thing, and I was walked past it was behind me, and must have spooked, jumped out and kicked me in the back. I got lucky actually, it didn't get my spine or my ribs or anything, but like it lacerated my spleen. I was wary of the spleen. I'm not allowed to get a big bang really for the next couple of months. So I decided it's probably not a bad idea to try and maybe wear a body protector in case I fall off, and gives me a little bit more protection for the spleen.
Hello and welcome to Klein Floatback, and it's iconic Derby Park in Hamburg for round 1 of Global Champions League.
Will Jack be ready to get back into the competition?
I've been feeling good for 1 or 2 weeks now, so I thought it was a good time to try and start riding again, and all good so far.
Jack Whittaker this season, actually. That kick in the back 3 weeks ago. Goes for the extra stride, holds for 7, and over the Deutsche Vermögensberatung.
A determined Jack jumps clear in the first round.
Whittaker still recovering from that injury he sustained 2 weeks ago. Horse in here. There they come. There's a finish. Good start there from Jack Whittaker. Yeah, he is upping the pressure.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Bounce back. What do they say? Back stronger.
Jack smashes it, helping Madrid in Motion to second place, while his uncle John secures first.
I was trying to beat him, obviously. We're going in there as family, but there's no hesitation, you know, we just want to beat each other and come out on top.
Exactly, yes. We have to keep them on, these young guys, on the toes, you know. We have to make them try a bit harder.
Yeah, no, I thought I rode fantastic, to be honest. And the spleen was keen, so I'm keen then as well.
Meanwhile, although Sanne Thijssen and Konkadam didn't set the world on fire in Hamburg,
and it is the second last that goes behind not just Saint Tropez Pirates, but also behind Stockholm Hearts, and the Sultan's drop is now guaranteed of a podium to Grand Prix.
Michael Pender, not to be outdone by his friend Jack, makes it through to the jump-off in the Grand Prix.
Michael Pender.
And finally, the podium, in an unusual joint second place with Andre Thiem.
Yeah, it felt amazing in Hamburg. Kalle was fantastic again. He jumped brilliant. I think that was actually quite cool, actually, at the same time as Andre Thiem. Doesn't happen very often, you know.
Yeah, Mikey, I've known him since we were on ponies. He's always been very, very talented. As you can see, he's got that kind of natural Irish abilities. He's very relaxed about everything, and he just kind of gets on with it. Every time he goes in the ring, he more or less jumps clear around. I think when we both want each other to win, but we're not going to let each other win, you know?
Well, it's quite simple. We're friends, we're competing against each other, but in the end, the results work itself out. Everybody's trying to help each other as much as they can.
He's pulling up them rankings like nobody's firing up there, so I've got to try and follow him, I guess. We've got to fight for it a bit, and at the moment he's beating me more than I'm beating him.
As the championship race continues through Europe, we next meet our under-25 riders in Stockholm, in the historic Olympic Stadium.
But I think today and the upcoming days will be a bit crazy here with all the people, and especially like with the Olympic medals from Peter Fredriksson and all the Swedish team. During the season, you see we have like a lot of U25 riders in the global, and we are all a bit from the same age, so also good friends. And you see when one is in the lead, you want to beat them. It's a little bit, but it's good. It motivates you more, and I think we all put ourselves on a higher level.
I think for sure they are better than me. They are riding much more long time than me. You know, I just started when I was 15. So they wake up, they were already on the horse, you know.
Yeah, Sanne is a good friend of me. She's the same age as me, so we did a lot of youth international shows together. But actually all the U25 riders here in the global, we started with ponies, children, juniors, and it's always the same people that you see, so we have a good relationship with all of them.
Well, my relationship with the under 25 riders are just, yeah, we know each other because of the shows, of course. On the end of the day, we probably have a drink together sometimes, but it's not that I'm really close connected to them. We're not really competitive, like specific between us. It's just between everyone, all the riders.
Friendships aside, how are our under-25 riders feeling about the competition?
We are in Stockholm in the Olympic Stadium in the heart of Stockholm.
I'm also riding in the team this week together with Marcus Zening. Let's hope we can put a good result together for the team. This week I have Luna here, which is actually at the moment my best horse.
This is Q Pavarotti. She's one of my top horses at the moment. She's a bit of a character, she's a bit fresh and a bit sharp when she comes to new places. It takes her a couple of days normally to get into it. And we are going for the big class tomorrow, the team competition. So, fingers crossed.
Global Champions League, the round that is the halfway stage of the season. Gilles Thomas now in the rain with Luna van den Hof. He goes for 4, has her on the hind leg. And both approaches work. Gilles Thomas makes it happen with a time fault. With a time fault.
Jill and Luna jump well, getting only 1 penalty for exceeding the time allowed. But it's a tougher round for Jack and Q Pavarotti.
Whittaker, on the other hand, is one of the leading riders of the season. 5 appearances, 4 clears. The time fault is coming, that's guaranteed. Is it just a time fault or is there also a jumping fault? And how many time faults? Oh, this is very costly. This is very costly. This is 4 for jumping and 6 for time. Jack Whittaker.
To be honest, I didn't feel like I was that slow. I should have gone faster, really. I should have been more aware of the time allowed, and all my fault, really. I'll see if I'm on the team or not. We'll just see what they think today. Probably not, but and I'll hopefully qualify for the Grand Prix. Go to bed and hopefully wake up on the ball for tomorrow.
Global Champions League round 2 here in Stockholm. Here's Gilles Thomas now. Stretching over the back rail, massive jump over the oxen. She is in super form.
Despite a strong performance from Jill and Luna, Valkensvoort United just miss out on the podium.
Sure, he's disappointed, especially about the teams. I know Luna, I know she's my favorite. She's such a fighter in the ring, so I guess he's a bit disappointed about that. And yeah, you'll end up just next to the podium, which is a shame for both of us.
And Sanne Thijssen has another disappointing weekend, clocking up 12 penalties in the team class and failing to qualify for the Grand Prix by 1 place.
Oh, and there it drops. There it drops in their hand. They're in Demirsoy on Kiss and Cry.
Jack and Pavarotti were not picked for the team in the second round, but can they pick up their speed as an individual?
Come on, come on, come on. Okay.
Little flowing forward to the upright. And now Aurora Borealis, the northern light. Oh, and it comes to a stop. Oh, and it's... Oh, and Jack Whittaker straight away his safety jacket inflates. Right. That's a good thing.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, no, the spleen's fine, no bother at all. I just left her a bit quiet at the auction, did I, maybe? Was I inside the time, yeah?
Yeah, we're good, yeah. You were
well inside, though.
Yeah, you were well inside, it was good.
Fuck, she'll fucking jumping good as well. She can jump tomorrow, she can. To be honest, I don't really know. It's a bit of a spooky plank, the last fence, and she's a bit green at this level still. Maybe I just left her a bit too much on her own, and she had to do a bit too much for herself, but these things happen, you know. Yeah, no Grand Prix now for me.
Hello and welcome to the City of Love for the 9th stage of Global Champions League.
Gilles Thomas is here in Paris as a team reserve, so he's taking the opportunity to try out a new horse to this level, Theramas.
This week I wasn't riding for the team because my horse that I took here is a bit less experienced. Needs to have some experience on that level, so he needs to jump a few times it. Also, I go next week to Monaco with him, so I think it's a good preparation for next week. I have like a few horses, but yeah, there are a lot of shows. So it's good if we can step up now to also a 5-star Grand Prix level. Can't take every show your best horses.
Meanwhile, Mike Kawai is back jumping for his team.
Six to get home, and there's the finish, and the time is good. They carry 12 from jumping and 3 from the clock. That adds up for Mike Kawai. Last fence down, who has lost his mojo on Goldwing.
Unfortunately, Mike fails to repeat his early season stellar performances. Grabbing everyone's attention, however, is another young rider, new to the Global Champions League this season.
My name's Lily Atwood. I ride for Stockholm Hearts as an under-25 rider. For sure, these are some of the hardest shows in the world, and I think for any under-25, it's their first season. It's difficult to get into. You know, you need to do a few shows before you realise how the courses ride, how the arenas ride, because they're all so different. It's overwhelming. You know, you have a lot of pressure to do well for the team.
Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, is a brand new team in the Global Champions League this year, featuring big-name riders Marlon Barrier-Johnson and Peder Fredriksson.
I wasn't expecting to get on such a good team, but you know, they contacted me, and of course I couldn't say no. When I found out Peder was on the team, it was, you know, amazing. He is always someone that all the riders look up to, so that was definitely really exciting for me, and I just felt so willing to learn from him and everyone else. Yeah, Marlon also, she's, you know, one of the best female riders in the world, and I feel like me and her ride quite similar in some ways, and she's so lovely.
Here in Paris, Lily jumps for her team alongside Lily Keenan.
The shape of the jump over there now. Lily Atwood is doing a great job and is about to produce her first ever clear, as there's a blank, and it's the first ever clear for Lily Atwood.
Both our horses jumped super on day one. A double clear in round 2 really pushed us up. Yeah, it was definitely girl power. Me and Lily are good friends, so it definitely helps.
And it got better and better for Lily, as she finished the weekend with an outstanding performance in the Grand Prix.
Deep stride, he can handle that. And the time is great, and both of the Lilies will jump clear in this Grand Prix. Look at that!
The second place in the Grand Prix was amazing. My horse just jumped so well. He hasn't had a fence down all week, and you know, to be stood on the podium with 2 other amazing riders was really special. Hopefully this proves that the team doesn't just run on Marlon and Peder. You know, we're a 6-man team, not just a 2-man team.
The global champions arrive in Monaco, playground of the rich and famous. Mike is determined to get back on track.
Norma 9. Jan? Norma 9.
Lower a bit and then balance. Nice, continue 8. Stay tall, think straight. Look rhythm, turn a little bit out first, jump the oxer, stay tall. And keep going, but keep him on his feet, don't fly.
I mean, nothing special with the distances.
Yeah. Only they're a little bit short for me. 6.
6, I do 5 then.
Hello and welcome to Monaco Monte Carlo for the first round of Global Champions League.
The first day in Monaco goes brilliantly for our under-25s, with Michael, Jill, Mike and Lily all jumping clear for their teams.
And Fast Forward is going to go clear as well. Extra push to the Oxer, and it's a clear. Gilles Thomas. And it's a clear finally again for Mike Kawai.
Good boy. Very good. I try to not to disturb him, like nice rhythm to good rhythm.
I think we had a good start. Yeah, Monaco is again a totally different show a bit. During the Globals we have all kinds of shows like big grass arenas, big center arenas, but also small arenas under the lights in the evening. And that's here in Monaco. So it's not every horses that fits this kind of shows well, but I think for Fermas it's good.
Well, seeing this arena on pictures, it really looks small, but actually when you get in there, it even feels smaller. I couldn't have too much preparation because they came straight from Paris, but she just lit up in that arena and just felt incredible.
The young riders' spirits are running high.
My horse is in great shape, so hopefully tomorrow he can deliver again and give her good results for the Pirates.
As the day of the final round arrives, Mike and Lily weigh up their chances.
You were good, no, yesterday?
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, she's really good. I'll jump her again today. Hopefully another double clear.
Strong. Now in first place, no, the team.
And you? Where are your team sitting?
I think we are standing like 11 or 12. Yeah, I was a little bit struggling to jump clear, must be sure. And then, you try to fix it, like you try to ride a little bit more, but in the end doesn't work like that. So I really...
It's the way he goes like this.
Really let the horse what he want to do, and then just trust what's good. Yeah, I hope I can do double clear in the team, and then let's see.
You looked really good yesterday.
My plan is now I'm going to ride the horse which I'm going to jump the class. Ask him if he's ready. I have to give him some candy, treat him, and a little bit of brush to make him happy. He really likes it, like doing like this. So I did this, and then I can give, like, please jump clear for me, and it works. It works, yeah. So I do the same routine. Today is gonna be, I think, it's very hot day. 28. It's very hot for the horse. Merci beaucoup.
The heat is making the riders a little nervous as they get ready for the big team class.
So he's happy. Rode her this morning. He was pretty relaxed, and hopefully it'll get a bit cooler. It's very hot now. It takes a lot out of them, the heat. I was second place going into round 2 today. I think we have a good chance to be on the podium.
Hello and welcome to Monaco for the second round of Global Champions League.
Round 2 is less successful for Jill and Fermas.
With Fermas van Beek gets a little bit long into this combination. It's a back rail that goes in the second one, and Valkenswaard United drop behind London Knights.
And Michael Pender is also feeling the frustration.
And no, it's not a clear.
Meanwhile, Mike Kawai is determined to boost his team up from 12th place.
The Rainbow Oxer, and it's again good jumping, very strong. Goldwyn. London Knights have just landed on the podium.
Happy?
Super happy.
The big teams are coming in. Double clear from Kawai and Hutton. And Atwood riding.
And Lily also jumps a double clear, taking her team to the top.
Yeah, it was so good. We just missed out on the podium in Paris. So to win today was really special.
It's the biggest result of the season for them both.
We were last night 12th place, and then today we finished in second. Of course, it was unexpected. We just pray to the God, and then today the God was next to us.
So Global Champions League gives the younger generation a great opportunity to jump at these shows.
You can be on top of the world the one week and then at the bottom of the pile the next week.
It's very hard to get into 5-star shows now. Without the globals, I wouldn't be able to stay at the top for so long.
Next time, as the Global Champions League hits London, Valkenswaard and Rome, the teams are running out of time to make it to the top of the leaderboard. Will our under-25 stars crack under the pressure?
Alongside me now are some fellow Iron Dames, Sarah, racing driver and show jumper Jana. Sarah, I want to come to you first. What has Iron Dames done for you?
Iron Dames has turned my life upside down, you know, like I was trying to be a racing driver for more than 20 years. I achieved a few good results and I managed somehow to survive in motorsport, but I was far away from making it, you know, a job and to realize my dream. And when I joined the Iron Dame in 2021, they changed my life in 24 hours. All of a sudden, I was this international racing driver. I was at the highest level of motorsport in the best conditions. And yeah, Iron Dames, you know, it's a project that is changing life. We are making dreams come true. That's the target. And I was very, very lucky to be one of the few first ones.
Do you find there's a huge amount of pressure on your shoulders? You're in a pink car, you're wearing a pink outfit as well. There comes responsibility with that.
Yeah, sure. You know, the first year I joined the project, we had black cars with pink details. And in 2022, when the media team told us, yeah, you know what, girls, we feel like you're ready now. The cars is going to be black. It's going to be pink with black details next year. We were like, oh, that's a lot of, like, we don't want to be seen as the Barbie girl car, you know, like we don't want to be like ridiculous with a pink car at the bottom of the field. And well, we made some very big victories with that car in 2022. We won 24 hours of Spa. We won some race in European Championship, did a few podiums in the World Championship. And all of a sudden, you know, pink was that powerful color in motorsport. And since then, we have this idea that we should own the pink, that pink is not a weak color, and that, yeah, we definitely want to give its power back to pink.
Well, you said it's powerful in motorsport, but it's also incredibly powerful in equestrian now as well, thanks to the CanStars powered by Iron Dames. You're having such a phenomenal season, Jana. Can you sum up how it's been so far?
Yeah, I mean, we had an amazing start in Doha already, and already in Doha you could feel the power from behind, and you could see a lot of pig caps running around and supporting us. And I think that has even been growing. We are a strong team and we have great support. Also here, it's so great that the racing drivers also support us. I mean, we've also been to the racing, but it's great to have the group come together.
What's it been like as a team to have Deborah as an owner and be part of such a tight-knit team?
I mean, she's amazing. I have to say, for me, as a mom, she's kind of an idol because she also has 2 kids and what she's done for all the ladies here, for the young girls, for everyone who's coming up. She is, yeah, she's really an idol, and I think the whole project is not only about sport, it's about living your dream and go for it, and that's something that really inspires.
It's so inspiring and it's so wonderful to see a racing driver and a show jumper come together today as well and really join forces and, as you see, say, making dreams come true. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Courageous,
organized, dedication, skillful,
artist,
modern,
genius,
perfection. I'm trying to get in the right state of mind.
I am Peder Fredriksson.
He has a lot of experience, a great rider.
Peder is really inspiring. He loves to share his knowledge.
When you win, you're celebrating together. If it goes badly, you share it with the team. I like it.
But it's not so easy.
He has a lot of skills.
He had made the sport bigger in Sweden. The sport would be different if he wouldn't have been there.
Biggest moment with the most pressure, he can stay so calm and so focused.
And that is the answer. How could it be #1 in the world?
And this is pursuit of greatness.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to GCTV and welcome back to Global Champions League Round 2. Right over my shoulder, all of the best riders in the world are here busy completing their course walk, preparing, trying to work out just how this Monaco ring for Round 2 is going to play. My name is Mark Lewis. We are live from Port Écule in Monaco. This is stage 10 of the Global Champions League, and it has been an intriguing opening round of Global Champions League, to say the least. Stars surging into the provisional lead. Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, stumbling somewhat. 8 penalties for Jessica Springsteen, but a wonderful clear for Olivia Philipparts to keep them in the mix. Prague Lions entering the top 4 chat. Razorback International refusing to die down. Falkenswart United jumping very well. And even the Shanghai Swans, who have struggled in 2024, put together a good performance and find themselves currently in 5th place. Monaco Aces, somewhat of a surprise as one of the teams on 8. And Rome Gladiators, powered by ClipMyHorse.tv, find themselves as well on 8 penalties. Slightly faster combined time than that of the Stockholm Hearts. With the Doha Falcons, that is a very, very big result. A team going in search of 3 consecutive stage wins have 20 penalties in the opening round, and that will indefinitely, we are sure of that, bring to an end that 3-in-a-row challenge. But it does open up the door for the Stars to make up some real championship ground. Not only can they leapfrog them into 2nd place, but arguably perhaps even leapfrog Stockholm Hearts into 1st overall. Let's show you that Stars performance from round 1. Kim Emmen and Sophie Hinnes were outstanding in that opening round. Back-to-back clears for the 2 Stars riders, who I have watched walk round 2 here tonight multiple times. Stefana Nogaro has been walking these lines with the riders as well, trying their best to make sure that they count every single stride, measure every single yard, every single meter between these fences set by Uliano Vizzani. He will once again, of course, design round 2 as we take a look here at the round of Sophie Hinnes on Canturo, who jumped a wonderful clear. Kim Emmen and Island VG following suit as well with a clear herself. If I'm not mistaken, during the leading team interviews, we were told that perhaps there wouldn't be some changes, but there is a horse change for both riders. Kim Emmen comes in with Imagine, and Sophie Hinnes on Iron Dames Sinclair jumps GCL round 2. And they will be the last team out the gate. So that is the big question. Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, final team to go. They're going to have to wait and watch all of their closest rivals, including the Doha Falcons, including the Stockholm Hearts, put together their rounds and then be ready to look for yet another victory. They've already won twice on the GCL stage this year. Can this be stage number 3 here in Monaco by the end of the night? The lights are beginning ever so slowly to dim around the Port Écule here in Monaco. We are going to wait and see exactly when these major floodlights that have begun warming up will eventually open up completely and illuminate this beautiful ring. And then all of a sudden, GCL round 2 under the floodlight is a completely different machine altogether. The riders had to contend with the natural light of round 1, and now we'll have to deal with all of the difficulties of GCL round 2 under the lights as well. We'll take you through some of the big moments as well, by the way, from GCL round 1 in particular. We will also hear from Stefano Nogara. Stars, we know that he is the main man behind it, always in the kiss and cry. The trainer for the Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, talks to Rosie Tapner to give us some reaction to that pole position for the Stars.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Stefano Can, what a fantastic start for the Stars. You must be so pleased.
Yeah, we are so happy. The 2 girls, our rider jumped really amazing, and the horses jump really good. But now the second round now I think is really big, really delicate, but it's for everybody the same, of course. And then I think we have 2 nice horses for the second round, and then 2 top riders.
Absolutely. Talk to me about the course, though. Are there any lines that you think might be tricky?
Okay, it's really technique. It's really technique. Then you don't have a chance to change idea. And then it's so, okay, the arena, you know, is small. It's like jumping one indoor, but we know. And then it's the same for everybody.
Do you feel like if you get one thing wrong in this arena, the rest sort of goes wrong? It's hard to get it back? With everything coming so fast?
Okay, we try to have a try to have a time, and then normally it's so short, but I think with the top level what you have, and then we have a nice result in the end.
Championship-wise, you're fighting for that top spot. Can you do it in round 2? Can Stars deliver the goods?
Okay, now we are waiting for the second round, and then we will see. But I think we have a good chance.
Thank you so much. Good luck to the team. Mark, that is Can Stars. Can they do it? Can they get back on top this weekend?
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rosie Tapner. Stefano Nagaro playing it very, very cool. He is a very calm man, a very calm character, until he steps into the kiss and cry. And then every single emotion comes out of him and the always very popular kiss and cry area for the Can Stars. But when he's walking that ring, when he's talking to you about the show jumping, about his riders, he does always have a very, very calm demeanor about him. Let's talk about changes, because we mentioned the 2 horse changes for the Can Stars already. Kim Emmen and Sophie Hinners both make a horse change. It's 2 of what I imagine to be many changes. Let's bring Fredrik de Backer into the show for GCL round 2. Fredrik, we've already heard about the Can Stars and their 2 horse changes. I wonder how that looks throughout the rest of the list as well. Talk us through what everyone has done. What have the managers prepared for round 2?
Well, Mark, round 1 did create some surprises. We only have 2 teams on double clear, only 2 teams on 4, the rest on higher scores. That means that those managers had to come up with something to straighten things out. It is not really a surprise that the only team that did make any changes is Riesenbeck International, powered by Kingsland. It is their strategy, and they've used that strategy already a few times, of course. But yeah, here we know that they came with not the most horsepower. Jane Richard was not going to compete on the team. The younger horses or less experienced horses of both Owen McMahon and Philip Schulze-Tophoff could not come into for round 2. So actually they stay with their same horses and with their same riders. But let's have a look, Mark, at the horse and rider changes that have been made on this second round, for this second round. For example, Mexico Amigos, obviously they had to make quite a significant change with the disappointing entry, the debut of Francesco Turturiello. So he goes out. It is Muda Zayada who comes in, and Madrid in Motion, Istanbul Warriors, all making their necessary changes. Doha Falcons, however, is interesting to look at. Willem Vermeer comes in, Jérôme Guéry does it as well. He does the horse change and goes to Careca LS. At 20 is the only thing that they can hope for, Mark, is to jump double clears and to see these teams. And if you're fair, you have to think about, only the teams on 16, maybe those on 8, drop behind, but it's only if they jump a double clear themselves, the Doha Falcons. Let's have a look at those last 3 teams, the teams that are actually in those leading positions. Am I right or wrong in saying that you have to look for the winner inside that group of 4s and clears? Maybe a team that sits on 8 and jumps double clear comes into the race. But let's be fair, if those teams, call it the Stockholm Hounds, Rome Gladiators and Monaco Aces and Shanghai Swans, don't jump double clears, then you have to look for the winners within those last 4 teams. I'm just checking on my list that I just got. Who comes in for that second round for Stockholm Hounds? Well, Donatello with Julia Epayar and Don Juan van der Donkhoven with Jessica Springsteen. I mean, that's firing power. That's a combination that should be able to jump double clear. Rome Gladiators, Dynastie de Beaufour with Nina Malvet, not that much experience. And Zodiac Dubuisson is also just a 9-year-old. Now, they're jumping on the floodlight, and those young horses have not done that just yet. Switching to Monaco Aces. Good performance from the Aces. Let's not forget about them between all the bigger teams. It's a good performance to come out just on 8. Only Grégory Cotard has gone to Cocaine Duval. Then Shanghai Swan, Jean Sadran to the Grand Prix winner Dexter. Max Kühner to the Grand Prix winner EIC up to Jaco Blue. Again, if you
if you question Rome and Monaco, you have to feel confident about Stockholm and Shanghai. And then with Valkenswaard, it's Edwin Tops Alexander who comes to replace Oliver Lazarus. Riesenbeck doesn't make horse changes. Canstars were already discussed. And if we are talking Prague Lions, well there, Origi van der Vosberg with Niels Bruinseels and Peter Vos with that fantastic casual DV. I dare to say, from here, from 8th place, jumping double clear puts you on the podium mark.
I think that's a good call, Fredrik. I was going to say, I wonder if those teams on 8, even a double clear, the best they can hope for will be a podium. But it's those teams that are on 4, it's those teams that find themselves now on clears. That surely is where our winners are going to come from tonight. But as Fredrik says, real horsepower for the Stockholm Hearts in particular, if they go on to jump clear. And welcome, by the way, to Julien Epayard. First time we see him after the mid-season transfer for his brand new team. If they are to jump double clear and stay on the 8, how many favors can be done around them? How high can 8 take you onto the podium? We'll find out a little bit later on tonight. And before we find out about the course, I believe that Muda Ziyada standing by alongside with Rosie Tapner. He's got some thoughts on what has been designed here by Uliana Vidzani tonight for round 2. Rosie, let's hear from the Mexico Amigos man. He'll be first out the gate today. As Fredrik pointed out, Mexico, unfortunately, on 30 penalties at the end of GCL round 1. Giacomo Casadei and Muda Ziyada will start for them. Let's hear from Rosie and Muda.
Well, it's great to see this man back on tour. Since Madrid, we haven't seen him. Just Muda, how are you? Because you've had a few injuries.
Yeah, no, I'm finally back intact, and it's my first one back here. And also my horse had an injury as well in the tongue, so we had a tough time, but I think we recovered well, and I think is a good place to be back to.
I think for those that don't know, you actually said to us you'd sprained your ankle, and later on you found out that you actually broke it.
Yeah, I sprained my groin hamstring first in Miami, and then I broke my ankle in Mexico, but I haven't noticed, so yeah. Worked as well. I did Madrid as well, but then it started really hurting, and then I had to fix it back in Egypt, and I came back.
Well, listen, it's great to have you back and into round 2. I know Mexico Amigos didn't have a great first round, but you've got your best horse here, so how are you going to help them through this?
Well, Francesco actually started the season in a very, very difficult arena. It's very small, and he's not yet used to how it's built. Uliana's building tough already the first round, but he's gonna, I think, sink in within around the 2. Let's hope for the best for me and Giacomo this round, and we'll keep fingers crossed.
Well, let's walk this line then, because I know you said this is one of the most technical lines. So as we walk it, just tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah. Well, I think number 3 is a very tall vertical coming out of the corner, and it's coming quick after number 2. And then you really have to be cautious jumping the vertical in, and then it's 5 short to the combination here. It's also a tall vertical coming in and a wide oxer coming out. I think if you really rode the big vertical down there, it's going to be really difficult for you to bring your horses back in, and then it's going to be also difficult coming out. So the entrance from this line is very important, in my very own opinion. Also, after 5 to 6 is a difficult climb, because the oxer comes also out of the corner from the first shot, and I think you need to sink in the turn a little bit to curve your outside line to the double of verticals. This is also no fudging. It's very fragile. The colors are very pale, so you need to give them time to judge the top poles.
It's really technical and it's really delicate as well. So, and I guess one thing goes wrong, it's a domino effect.
And yeah, of course, it's you need a calculator running on with you, you know, to keep you alert with all the corners and all the curves and all the lines. But I think it's big enough. I don't know how this track is going to jump. I think you can have a fault everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, fingers crossed that you don't have a fault and you can help the Mexico Amigos come back up the leaderboard a little bit. Muda, it's so fantastic to have you back. Thank you so much for walking the course with us. Mark, that is Muda's take on the course, a big and technical one.
Thank you very much, Rosie Tapner. Interesting comments that he says there. Feels as if you might need a jump with a calculator. That might be one of the best lines that I've heard of today because, again, it just talks about the difficulty in this ring, how quickly things come at you, how when Uliana Vidzani has built some fences into the corners here. Frederick spoke about 23 meters wide on one side, 20 on the other. And if Vidzani is playing with magic, these riders are going to be tested. That is for sure. Frederick de Backer standing by for us. Frederick Mulder says he needs a calculator to calculate these jumps. I wonder how you see it. Talk to me about round 2. What has Vidzani built?
I don't think he's very wrong there, Mark. It's an interesting track. You spoke already about the floodlights that will come on in a few minutes' time. Muda actually spoke about this line, the line from 3 into 4, the short 5 strides that sit in here. This is a tall vertical that you first need to jump, but you need to put a little bit of effort into it. You can't jump it with the thought of the short 5 afterwards. You have to jump this one first. Now, it's not an oxer that needs a lot of punch. You still need to ride it and give your horse the support, give him space. Space means landing deep into the line. So you can't think about getting the small jump over the vertical. This needs to be jumped first and then think about the short 5. A line that the course designers really tipped me about is the next line, the line from 5 into 6A and into 6B. That starts with a short 6. A short 6 strides, and something that is typical about this, Mark. Look where the bend actually sits. I'll take this away, all of this. Look where the bend sits. The bend sits very early in your line. If you would have the bend here, you can curve it a little bit more, but here you need to be a little more aggressive to make your line. So it's actually landing, riding, and shortening. Now, because it is a shorter line, you can try to curve it a little bit to find yourself some room, because you need room. If you land deep to this vertical, you will get in trouble for the combination itself. Normally, double of verticals are always short. What I hear from course designers is that this double of verticals is actually built long. So it's the opposite of what we've seen so many times. That means that you have to make sure you get room here, but it's already short. You have to get room here to jump in long so you can comfortably get out. If you would get the small jump, yeah, then you're stuck and you're fiddling and might even get an extra stride. So make sure you come in with quite a bit of swing. And then there's a few standard lines, the standard approaches, but it's more about positioning of the fences. Have a look, for example, at fence 8 with the plank on top, jumping into the corner. We can also talk about fence 10, again, jumping into the corner. But I just want to talk to you about that final line, Mark. 11A, 11B, colors of Global Champions League. It's actually what is left of the triple combination earlier in the first round. There's 2 strides in that part. But it's about jumping that final fence, and that is a big, big oxer. From what I understand, it's built at a short 7 strides. So first you have to get your 2 strides out and then have to stay out as long as possible. But the wider you will go, the less square you'll get to jump over that oxer. And if you jump that on the angle, yeah, your horse will jump it across, will jump it on the angle, make the oxer even bigger. So that is at first what stands out. That line into the double combination, that line into the double combination, and that line out of the double combination. So I do wonder if when we make the summary of this class at the end of GCL round 2, Mark, if indeed those 3 lines with their double combinations are going to have the impact. The short 5, the short 6, and the short 7 before or after the doubles. Are they going to decide on whether CanStars are going to take the championship lead or not?
All right, Frederick de Backer, those 3 double lines, you're right. And especially when we talk about that on the day after, that'll be available for you on demand on GCTV tomorrow. How impactful are those lines going to be on where tonight's trophy goes, on where tonight's championship points go? That will be the big question. There is some in-ring entertainment. We are moments away from starting Global Champions League round 2. Before we go, let's bring up a virtual table for you. Bring you up to speed as to what things would look like on the overall ranking. If it were to end now, I am confident that the CanStars would indeed find themselves on top, which indeed they would. If things were to end as they stand now at the end of GCL round 1, CanStars would once again take over the overall rankings lead. They would once again be the championship leaders. The Stockholm Hearts would drop to second. Doha Falcons would drop down to third. Razorback International would remain in fourth, but they will then be level on points with Doha Falcons. So this is now a big, big talking point. And we wonder then, how CanStars are going to do by the end of the night. Stay with us here on GCTV. We'll have all of the information for you, everything that you need to know here by the end of the night, live from Port École in Monaco. Stay with us. Global Champions League round 2 is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monte Carlo, Monaco, for on Friday evening the qualification for the richest Grand Prix of the season. Tomorrow in the Grand Prix we will jump for 1.5 million euros, and this class is going to decide on who is going to qualify for that Grand Prix or not. Now that's the big thing. Or not. Imagine missing out on the opportunity to qualify for a Grand Prix worth 1.5 million euro, the richest one in the regular season. Of course, there is a Super Grand Prix worth 1.25 million. That Grand Prix only open to Grand Prix winners, only 15 riders competing. In the Grand Prix tomorrow, we'll have 40 riders competing. And in that group, we can have the same riders that we had in the Grand Prix and even in the jump-off last year. I'm thinking of Julien Epaillard, of course. Epaillard, last year's winner. I am thinking of Philippe Rosier. I am thinking, of course, also of Jean Sadran. Jean Sadran, who already won a Grand Prix this year. And it's also Harris Mulders with Monaco NOP to complete that the group of 5 that made the jump off last year. The only one who isn't here is actually Joli Maitland last year with Levi's de Muse. Third place worth 225,000 euro of prize money. But first, we'll also rack up that second round of Global Champions League. And in that second round, some big names and some big horses as well. Believe me, it's going to be an interesting second round with plenty of storylines, but also with some amazing horses like this man's Donatello Doge alongside Don Juan van de Donkhoeven. And this is that arena watching from the harbour, from the Port Hercule. This is actually the start list. Who comes forward already? Philippe Rosier once again with Dirty Sweet, looking for a good spot to qualify from. With Dirty Sweet, the horse that did it for him back in Paris and in Saint-Tropez, if I recall well. Smulders with Monaco, Delestre on Dexter, Zina Dream is in there. There is a Flux Could Kill there, we're already with the teams. Beauville Z with Van der Vleuten, Napoli. Look at the horses. Carreca, IQ van het Steentje with Willem Vermeer. Then Don Juan, Donatello and Cacharmai with Edouard Levy. There we are with the Monaco Aces, powered by Line of Porches. Dexter, Chaco Blue, Fellow, Unique. And then Origi and Casual there at the end for the Vos and for Bruinseels. They are second last to go. Last to go, Iron Dame Sinclair and Imagine with Hinners and with Kim Emmen. There you go, the love between mom and her daughter, Mother Sadran and Jean Sadran. Effé still with the, I think it's actually fat wrap around his arm. FSCI with Istanbul Warriors later on. And there's the first in this qualification. It is Jane Richard with Molly Malone Z. Time allowed is 72 seconds. And I say that too early. Let me bring that back. Yes, 72 is confirmed. Jane Richard and Molly. There's her son, Noah, who competes here. And we'll start in the center of the arena at Fan Swamp, there on the right of your screen in black and gray colors. 8 strides, the first line. Holding 5, comes well in and comes well out as well. Jumped that really well, Molly Malone. Slightly open 6. I thought it was going to be a short 6, and on the open 6 it is the upright that is done for Jane Richard. Seven to the plank. That's well ridden. She had beautiful control over the mare. Oh. Seven to the oxer. Looked like she had an uncomfortable deep stride to 9. Now the final line. And 7 to get home, and that is a good round. A second and a half inside the time allowed, and 4 penalties for a good jumping Molly Malone and a well riding Jane Richard in this qualifier. And there is Rosier quietly looking at the course with Dirty Sweet in good form the last weeks. There you can see all 3 rings. You on the left, the main ring, and then the 2 warm-ups. The bottom one is the jumping warm-up, the top one is the flat riding, the dressage warm-up. But so Dirty Sweet. 3rd in the Paris qualifier, and 1 down in the Grand Prix. Won the Saint-Tropez qualifier, retired in the Grand Prix. And now, fault at 1 for Rosier. Now it's become even more of a speed class. In order to qualify well. 7 and he comes to a stop. He rode an extra stride. It could have been an easy 6 and he waited. He was thinking about the shortness of that line, and then everybody said, yeah, it's a waiting 6, but he jumped to the outside, and then when he waited, I think, yeah, by surprise, he had to stride too many. Rosier. And that would be the end of his campaign, you could think. Well, the good news, if there is good news is that only 42 riders compete in this qualifier and 40 can qualify. So only 2 will drop out. If Rosier makes it to the end, he will have time penalties. It's going to be touch and go. Who will come out with higher scores than this man? Because time penalty is already counting. Oh, that is going to be... The man who last year was 4th in the Grand Prix, on that score of 30 plus. I cannot imagine that he is going to make it. 33 is the final score for Philippe Rosier on Dirty Sweet. And for him, this is always a special stage. He is the coach of the Monaco national team. And he did not see this coming. He didn't see the first fault coming at the first fence. And I think that he was surprised himself by that extra stride into the double. Jonna Ekberg, Swedish rider with Calypso de Beaufour, based in Germany. Jonna. In the background there in the blue polo shirt, her partner. Based in Belgium, Jonna Ekberg, with Alex Duffy, her partner. On Calypso de Beaufour, that will mean that we will have 2 horses bred by Eric Levallois in this Grand Prix. Calypso by Diamant. And later we will also see Nina Malvet with Dynastie de Beaufour, also by Diamant. Ekberg with a solid round, safe, reliable, aiming for that clear that would put her straight in the Grand Prix, and late to go in the Grand Prix itself. A time penalty is coming, a time penalty, time penalty for Jonna Ekberg. Oh, and the last fence down, and so all of a sudden from a very favorable position, Jonna Ekberg is on 4. No, sorry, on 5, because the time penalty is added as well. A bit too much time in that turn. The final turn into the last line. Elsewhere as well, of course, it's not just a single turn that has all the difference or makes all the difference. But Jonna Ekberg, pity, because a round with plenty of possibilities. And they're all the Irish in support of this Swedish. And I think it was lucky that we cut the shots. I think there were a few bleep words coming up. Oliver Lazarus has stepped down from Valkenswaard United. Lazarus as individual with Conbaltago, his 10-year-olds. He's also going for wide turns here, somewhat similar to Ekberg. Nice six, nice six. Well ridden there and well jumped as well from Conbaltago. It is going to be Conbaltago's first 5-star Grand Prix this weekend. No other Grand Prix to make your debut. 1.5 million in the purse. His horse is coming along nicely. Really developing well under the South African, with a positive momentum into the combination. Handles that well, jumps that carefully, then blocks on his rein. Oh, and he has to circle. Oh, and that's 4, and that's time penalties, and he has to rush. He has to make sure he gets there. Can he keep it on the 12? No. Can he keep it on the 16? Oh, second approach. The youth, the lack of experience that Conbaltago has. We know that. He's young. He hasn't jumped many meter 60 classes. And it was so solid, it didn't touch a single fence, and I just think that it didn't lock on, it didn't focus. He thought he was done as he came out of the double, thought he had to go straight, as Lazarus wanted to turn, wanted to move to the inside as you have to. And here, yeah, Conbaltago, he saw it too late, he focused too late, and it's part of the process, but it's so annoying. If you're on 8 already, then it's a different story, but if you're so close to jumping a clear with this horse, and it's bitter, very bitter for Lazarus, who deserved more. So did Conbaltago, jumped a very good round. Oh no, what is going on here? Angelica Augustsson, Zanotelli, Kalinka van der Nachtegalen, also a run out, also time penalties coming, and still plenty of jumping to do. Also couldn't focus straight away on the fence, the next fence to jump. And she's now in the same boat as Lazarus. Also risking time penalties, has to try to keep clear. That is gone, so that's 8, and now the time penalties will start being added as from 72 seconds. Oh. Tries to be efficient here. It's a good reaction from Angelica. And where does she go? She comes home on 14 and so ranks in front of Oliver Lazarus in a way. That's a good result, but at least she's qualified for the Grand Prix, keeping 2 riders behind her. But yeah, I don't think that really builds the confidence for the Grand Prix to come. Here, gives a bit of outside bend, and then I think she just saw that fence too late. You often see her give somewhat of outside bend to keep her on the hind legs so that she can't anticipate the turn. And I'm only guessing, I'm only trying to analyze what I saw, what I might have seen. But it is heartbreaking for Rosier, for Lazarus, and now also for Augustsson Zanotelli. Former Monaco Grand Prix winner is Emanuele Gaudiaro. With Nicolai, the music. He won it with Chalou years ago. Now with Nicolai and a rattle at the first. was not Chalou, it was Casper. And the two strides are fairly long, and still you can't rush it. It needs to take his time. There's your first clear. There's the first clear from Emanuele Gaudiano with Nicolai, the music. Clear round in time, well inside the time, nearly 6 seconds to spare. And Gaudiano will qualify for the Grand Prix. First clear after the first 6. Gaudiano and Nicolai, the music. Good work from the gelding by Kanan and Nabab de Rêve. Alman with Mandato van der Neerheide has no duties this weekend for Shanghai Swans. And so, as individual, with this Paris Grand Prix winner, of course. It's going to be the 4 for Alman, but the time is going to work. He goes to the outside, adds a stride, comes deep to the final oxo, but leaves it up. And comes 2 seconds inside the time allowed across the finish line, carrying the 4 penalties for the German with Mandato. He's in second at the moment. Ines Joly with Ambassador. Is the 8th individual, has a total of 14. Ambassador by Aganix, bred by Jos Lansing, by the way, who rode Aganix du Seigneur. And there is the prayer again. We saw it for the first time in Stockholm when it didn't really pay off for Joly. Different day, new chances. And there goes the back wheel. Still on 4 penalties. That's the same as Alman and Jane Richard. On the short 5 strides into the combination. And then out the punch to come out of the combination. Now the second one goes. That is the finish. There's time penalties, but Ina Jolie comes home with 10 in total, 2 for time, 8 for jumping. She's 5th at the moment, goes in front of Augustin, Donatelli, Lazarus and Rosier, meaning that this young rider will be part of the Grand Prix group tomorrow, where she can choose between Imposant, Van der Renger, or this Ambassador. Actually, if you look at it like that, could have jumped it clear. And here he jumps deep into the combination. She tries to help him, but he can't bring his front leg, his shoulder up in time. The Doha Falcons did not have their best first round of the season. The Falcons, where the Leicester has come off, Willem Vermeer has come onto the team, and the Leicester rides Dexter Fontenay-Z. Ooh, and the Leicester wants to qualify high and fast. Clear and fast seem to be his ambitions. The better you qualify, the later you go with the Grand Prix. Reactive through the double. Dexter by Diarado. Faster than Gaudiano, who is on clear. Oh, it all stays up. The Leicester is clear and it's going to be quicker than Gaudiano. Here comes the Frenchman to take the lead in the qualifier. And if that lead would not change, that would mean that he would be last to go in the Grand Prix. But plenty of riders still to go. However, the clear stands, the time as well, and the Leicester is smiling. Happy Simon. And in the background there is Harry Smulders on Monaco. Monaco NOP. The Dutch gelding by Cassini and contender. And last year, Fire Hair missed the big prize out here in Monte Carlo. Well, by Hair, we have to give all the credit to Julien Epaillard. Epaillard, who was 1.3 seconds faster than Smulders last year. That's not by a hair. In a 1.5 million Grand Prix, that's a significant margin. Smulders now back with Monaco. Smolders, who last year qualified on 4 penalties. And for context, who won the qualifier last year, Julien Empaillard. Is clear. He's not as fast as the Leicester, probably not as fast as Gaudiano. Trying to secure a good position. And he's going to do that with a clear, contrary to last year. Clear in time. Harry Smolders is clear and in time. And that puts him into third. He is 3 seconds inside the time. He is also 4 seconds behind the Leicester. But compared to last year, it is now a clear for Harry Smolders and Monaco. Janne Frederike Meyer-Zimmerman comes here with inexperienced horses, if you compare it to Messi van der Ruitershof. This is, for example, Chelagon Cascais. Cascais is a 9-year-old by Colestus out of a Carico mare. Cascais now jumps his second meter 60 class. Jumped the Hamburg Grand Prix. And it's a horse that seems ultra careful. He's young, and so jumping on the floodlights always adds a bit of edge, especially to those very careful horses. They want to try even harder, and at big oxers, then they sometimes struggle. So it's always to wait and see how it plays out for those kinds of horses. And so far it's going well for Meyer-Zimmerman. This week, no duties on the CanStars team. And just like the Leicester, Gaudiano and Smolders. Oh, there's the back rail. Janne Frederike Meyer +2 for time. That makes it 6. Goes behind Ekberg and into 7th for the German rider Janne Frederike Meyer-Zimmerman. And Chelagon Cascais. What a venue. I mean, the boats are docking less than 3 meters from the warm-up. Big test for this mare, 9-year-old, just like Janne Meyer's Chelagon Cascais. Precious Dwerzenhagen with a good clear in the first round of GCL, and now the mare by Cornet with Olivier Philippaerts in this Grand Prix qualifier. Philippaerts, who has kept H&M Legend of Love in the stables all weekend so far. Well, not she's been in the stables all weekend, but didn't compete so far. And wants to qualify with this 9-year-old to then have a fresh legend of love in the Monte Carlo Grand Prix. Sometimes in these 9-year-olds you see flashy horses and you think, wow, that's interesting, that's a good horse. And then sometimes in these 9-year-olds you see this. Smart, intelligent, not extremely flashy, but just gauging, looking, understanding. And still she might have a rail along the way. But I think we're looking at a very, very good 9-year-old. Rideable, smart, stretches, backs off, focuses. Oh, this is such a nice horse. It's a nice round, but the horse is precious indeed. What a name for such a horse. Precious Dwerse with Olivier Philippaerts. Steady clear. He is 5 seconds behind, nearly 6 behind the Lestre. But this horse, 2 clears in a row now. In the meter 55, and now this. What a lovely horse. And behavior as well. Look at her, how she behaves. So mature. Confident even. A horse with aura. And don't forget about Oliver Lazarus and Con Baltago. Actually also a horse that gave us that same idea, but was just maybe a little bit greener than this Precious. Anyway, over now to Davidville and Zinedream. The stallion by Zinedine and contender of the Gestüt Bonhomme. His partner on the left, Paraklab Hake. Business partner, teammate, I should say, on the right, that was Sophie Hinners. Last 5-star Grand Prix this horse jumped, he won. That was in January. Then had I think a breeding break. It's a breeding stallion. Oh, it was a little bit hectic there in that line, and all of a sudden you've got 2 fences on the ground. Davidville with Zinedream. Only in the double combination. In the line from 5 to 6. The short 6 trying to, you have to get that outside bend. And he wanted to stay heart to heart, shorten for the 6. And then Zinedream fiddled a bit. It was a little bit unstable, a little bit hectic maybe. Boats and yachts coming into the harbor from small to big to bigger to humongous. This is also a huge name. Gregory Watley now with Bogos. Bogos du Parc. to now Gregory Watley with that stallion by Caprice Boismargot and Canan. The multi LGCT Grand Prix winner, but it's been a while. I think we have to go back all the way to, what is it, Shanghai 2019? That could very well be. Shanghai 2018 even, with Correa. They do that really well, these two. Away from the in-gate, into the final line. Here come the 7 strides. The waiting 7, he could drift to the outside before getting straight and then puts a nice clear on the board. Gregory Watley is 7th. We now have 5 clears out of the first 14. Now that's Gregory Watley. He was the last of the individuals before now diving into the team runners, the team combinations, the 14 teams in the second round of the Global Champions League of Monaco. Rosier on 33 penalties sits on one end of the table. The Leicester, on the other hand, sits at the top of the table with the fastest clear. There are the current standings. It is the Leicester, Gaudiano, Smulders, Waterloo and Philippaerts. That is the top 5 on clear. And then Alman with a fast 4 on Mandato. Jay Richard with a very strong 4. She was first to go. And then Jonna Ekberg, last fence and a time penalty. Janne Meyer, late fence and 2 time penalties. Will in the double combination. And the surprising results from Augusto Zanotelli, Oliver Lazarus and Philippe Rosier. Those were the individuals as we now start with GCL Global Champions League Round 2, 10th stage of the season, coming up live from Monte Carlo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Global Champions League and especially to the second round held here in Monte Carlo, Monaco, and in its exclusive Port Hercule, the yacht harbor, the marina in the Principality of Monte Carlo. 14 teams go into this second round. All teams managed to make their way through the first round. No eliminations, no retirements. And so all teams progress into the second round. But it wasn't an easy first round. On the contrary, that first round has thrown the ranking upside down and shaking it all about, because CanStars have come out as leaders, but Stockholm Hearts sit in the middle. That is actually the championship leader, and the runner-up in the championship, Doha Falcons, find themselves at the bottom. So yeah, it did have an enormous impact, this first round of GCL, and if things would remain the way they are, it would mean that CanStars would become the new championship leaders, would win this stage and would add their name to this list, a list with some famous teams. Looking at Paris, Stockholm and Riesenbeck in the last 3 years here in Monte Carlo, Monaco. Even more, 2 teams jumped a double clear and only 2 teams jumped for 4 penalties. So actually there's 4 teams that are in a very interesting position. And would it be then fair to say that we need to look for our winner in that group of the leading 4s? There, the overall standings, this is the championship standing, with Stockholm Hearts leading, Doha Falcons in second and CanStars in third. 4 Riesenbeck, then Valkenswaard, Madrid and Prague. In a minute you'll understand why the round 1 standings have such an impact on potentially on the overall standings. And Migos also didn't do well in round 1. We'll explain that in a minute. Let's have a look at the leading 3 teams from round 1. Those are CanStars, Prague Lions and Riesenbeck International. CanStars lead after round 1. Can they lead after round 2? These are the round 1 standings. CanStars outstanding. Prague Lions move up and jump a double clear, become now contenders for the top 4. Riesenbeck also stay in the race. But where are the other teams? Where are Doha and Stockholm? Well, not on the first page. There you find Valkenswaard, Shanghai, Monaco and Rome. But there they are only on 8 penalties in 8. Now they're not too far away from CanStars. But Doha, 20 penalties. Madrid, 24. Mexico, 30. Those last 2 teams were actually, before this stage, still battling for the top 4 in the championship. I am afraid that they will be out of that race now, definitely, once this stage here in Monaco is over. Or are we going to see a real shake-up, a real surprise for the, or in that second round, something that we did not, would not, dare not to expect? And it has to happen over this course that Dujana Vezzani has built. Takes us at the black and grey vertical at 1, and then on 8 strides to the green oxer to 2. Fairly standard, straightforward approach from 1 to 2. Then you go around, and it's an interesting line from 3 to 4. I don't know if this graphic will give us 4 strides, but this is a tall, tall vertical. This is 1.60 m with a little plus behind it. And then you've got 5 strides into the double combination, but those 5 strides are short. but you'll come with a big swing over the vertical, and then you have to get them short. Then make sure you find room for the upright, but you also have to have enough momentum to get over this back rail. It's not an overly big oxer to come out, so he made it fair. It's not a nasty trap. No, Vezzani has been fair. Then you've got that oxer, and you have to jump to the outside because the 6 are short into a double of verticals. And well, we've heard and seen different approaches. Is the double of verticals long? Is the double of verticals short? A bit of everything. Then a little bit of a breather. 7 to 8 is standard on 8 strides, but here you have a plank on top. A long gallop, and actually this is well positioned. You see that the vertical of the Casino de Monte Carlo is hidden behind fence 12, so you have to get your angle, your shot right for the next 7 strides to the gate of Global Champions. And then the final line could be difficult for horses that struggle with concentration, with focus. It is the third of 3 double combinations. It's 11A and 11B. There's 2 strides in the middle. And you have to make sure you can stretch over that back rail at first and get the 2 strides. And the 7 are waiting. That means that you have to try to stay out as long as possible, but at a certain point you have to come out of your turn and into the line and square up. Now, if your horse is a little bit late in understanding that, you are stuck and you are done. So having a horse that is looking for the next fence is really vital in that final line with the waiting 7 strides out of the double combination. Are you ready? I sure am for this second round of GCL that seemingly is going to shake up the standings. This is the starting order. Let's give you some indications. Muda Zayada has replaced the newcomer, Francesco Turturiello. Casadei with Mabella du Chablis has made a horse change. The team starts with 30 Mexico Amigos. But with Emotion starts with 24. Bosti, 20 penalties with Ever, now with Ballerine du Villepion. Van de Vleuten from Melwieke to Beauville. Team with 24 to start, 20 to start. Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem. Horse changes for Scal and CI. They went for 8 and 12 for CI, a total of 20, obviously. Surprisingly good result for Jordi van Massenhoven with his inexperienced Contica. He goes now to Nan van Bergen. They jumped for 4. Surprisingly poor result for Nicolas Paul for 16. 20 the total of Scandinavian Vikings. 20 the total of number 3. No, number 2 on the standings. Doha Falcons, where Vermeer comes in to replace De Lestre. Getty to Carreca. 16 for New York Empire, where Smith and McAteer go for horse changes. Stockholm Halsdam, the first team on 8. Somewhere still in the hunt. And look at those horses. Don Juan and Donatello for Springsteen and Epaillard. Then Dynasty and Zodiac, where Nina Malvé comes onto the team for Rome Gladiators, powered by Clipma-Horse.tv. We move to Monaco Aces, powered by Line of Porches, where Levi stays with Cachar and Cotard goes to Cocaine Duval. The Swans bring in the big Grand Prix winners, Dexter and up to Jaco Bloom. The team starts on 8. And I think if you jump a double clear in this second round, you are a podium. You have a podium option. Valkenswaard with 4, where Lazarus is replaced by Tops Alexander. Riesenbeck doesn't make any horse changes. A 4 and a 0. A 4 for McMahon and a clear for Schulze Tophoff. They start with 4 as well. And the last 2 teams on clear. The Vos and Bruinfels, the Belgian boys. Horse changes for those that have jumped double clear. And CanStars also only horse changes. Kim Emmen now with Imagine and Sophie Hinners with Iron Dames Sinclair. Just once more, I truly believe that if you can jump a double clear here, that you actually have the potential to land on the podium of this stage. Especially if you're, and I'm talking about the teams that start with 8 penalties or less. How many have we of those? 2 on double clear, 2 on 4, and then a group of 4. Yep, of 4 on 8 penalties. That means that if these would go on to jump double clear, these Mexico Amigos, well, it's not that likely that they will land on the podium. The 30 is a burden too big to carry. The 30 come from the 26 of the newcomer, Francesco Turturiello, with the Chicken George. Giacomo Casadei with Corradina. He jumped for 4 penalties. Casadei now to Marbella du Chablis. And Muda Zayada has gone to If Looks Could Kill. Zayada, who returns after foot injury. I don't know if you remember Zayada with those injuries at the beginning of the stage of the season to his groin and to his ankle. Well, in the end, it showed that ankle was broken, and he competed with an ankle for quite a while, actually. Marbella now with Giacomo Casadei. Oh, that was a light rub. That's another one on the 6 tries into the double of uprights. 30 plus 8 makes 38. Time allowed is 72 seconds. Where does he sit there? Giacomo Casadei is going to flirt with the time allowed. He's going to catch a time penalty just outside and now rolls that Mexico Amigos 34. And still 1 man to go, of course. 14 for Casadei, 44 for the team at the moment. Casadei and Marbella du Chablis. What does Mudazayada see? There is something wrong with one fence. I think it's in the double combination that a rail is still down here. Not that he saw it. I don't know if the jury saw it. But it was Mudazayada communicating to the ground crew that he wants to jump that oxer, but maybe it would be more fair to have the rail up again. Fair play of Mudazayada. And if looks could kill. At one point early in the season, outstanding performances from Muda with this horse. 1 point scored 100%, and of course if you jump your first round and you jump a clear, that is also 100%. But Muda jumped 3 out of 3 clears. With if looks could kill. Now sits at 3 out of 7. You could make that 50%. And if you could jump 50% clears, actually a rider that could suit any team of the league. 50% clear round rates is what gets your team a spot in the top 4. And actually, in this season, the leading teams are at 40 to 45% clear rounds. So a 50% clear round rate in the league is a good result. Of course, you have to make a distinction between round 1 and round 2 clears, that's true. Look at that. First show back after his injury. The ankle still not super stable. But Mudazayada picks up time penalties but jumps clear. Not inside the time, but just 2 time penalties. Good comeback from Mudazayada. And I can imagine that, especially after those performances of the team in round 1, that could hinder, destroy, deflate your motivation somewhat. I know.
A tough evening for the Mexico Amigos, but what an outstanding round from Muda Zayada, who comes back after that ankle injury, picks up only time penalties, but keeps every single fence up. Mexico Amigos, however, finished the night here in Monaco on 46 penalties. If you want to watch the rest of Global Champions League Round 2, if you want to see Madrid Emotion and Istanbul Warriors, the next two teams to come out the gate, sign up for a GCTV live pass. The action is happening right now here live from Port Écule. Come and join us for GCL Round 2.